What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with the former Mr. Olympia champion. One of the biggest Olympia champions we have ever seen. And that is of course Big Ramy, who just made it official that he's planning to come back at next year's Audiu, which is gonna be happening in March. Unless he's being inspired by Kai Green, the real bodybuilding fans, they will all understand what this means. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, other than the fact that Audiu, that is the highest paying show at the moment in pro bodybuilding scene, this is also a major title that Big Ramy hasn't won. Yes, he did win Arnold Brazil, but we all know the Audiu is the one that truly matters. So he won the Arnold Brazil back in 2015, and ever since then, he did the Audiu multiple times, but he never won that show. Now, as far as this upcoming Mr. Olympia is concerned, there is way too little time left for Big Ramy to rebuild, regain the size back that he normally has during the off-season, and then died down from there onwards and get ready for this year's Mr. Olympia. And we have seen Big Ramy hasn't been one of those guys who gets in shape very easily. It takes him some time. In fact, he was struggling with that for the most part of his pro career until he started working with Chad Nichols as his coach. Now, irrespective of how Big Ramy does at the Audiu at his comeback, if this comeback actually happens, this is gonna be such a great storyline for the sport of bodybuilding as a whole. And depending on how he does at his comeback show next year, maybe he will also decide to do the Olympia 2 next year. Normally, when the athletes who were of such high caliber in their primes, when they come back, they do not do very well, and they are only a shadow of their former selves, because the fans compare them to their previous best versions. So that being said, what do you guys think? Will Big Ramy come back? Or is this a way to stay relevant in the bodybuilding world? And if he does come back, where do you guys think he's gonna place? So the scorecards for this year's Portugal Pro Show, they are now out. And guess what? Rubiel Mosquera absolutely dominated this show. He got perfect scores to win his second pro show. But the thing is, that isn't the real shocking part here. Bruno Santos, he was able to beat Nathan Diesha quite comprehensively. So there was something seriously wrong with Nathan's peak for this year's Portugal Pro Show that the judges saw in person. But it wasn't so apparent on the live stream or in the pictures, because one cannot seriously think that Bruno Santos is on the same level as Nathan Diesha. Just for the record, Bruno got beat by Patrick Moore and Leandro Perez earlier this year. And can we all agree that both of these guys, they aren't capable of beating the most winning IFBB pro in the pro circuit right now, at least based on their current physiques. Now, Nathan getting beat by Rubiel Mosquera, that isn't shocking at all. I mean, Rubiel did beat him at his pro debut back in Prague 2023, but him getting beat by Bruno Santos, that was kind of a shocker. So Rubiel announced himself loud and clear that his motivation are gonna be sky high for his Olympia debut in October. It's just a matter of Rubiel getting more separation in his quads. And he's gonna scare some very big people, some very big names, even on that Olympia stage. But I don't think that's gonna happen this year. But it can certainly happen in the future. But again, we have to understand, Rubiel probably will never have the separation and the detail, especially in his quads from the front, that people are expecting him to bring. And that is of course because of his genetics. Now, coming back to Nathan versus Bruno. The thing is, people who were there in attendance at that show, they agreed with his placings. Now that is a seriously concerning point for Nathan on where he's gonna go from this point onwards in his career. So the reigning Arnold champion and the former Mr. Olympia Derek Lunsford starts his prep for this year's Mr. Olympia at 14.5 weeks out of the show. And just the starting point of his prep, that looks so damn lean. And that just goes to show us what an incredible athlete this guy is all year round. He stays so regimented and so damn lean even during the off-season and even in the detox. So there is a very high probability that Derek spent most part of the post-Pittsburgh Pro phase in the detox, cleaning out and resetting his system. And that means he must be on very little stuff in terms of the PDs and the gear. But the fact is he maintains such a lean body composition, no matter whether it's the off-season or in the prep or in the recovery mode. That also shows us how dedicated the man is to this lifestyle. And ever since he transitioned from the 212 into the men's open bodybuilding, there hasn't even been one point throughout these last 4 years where Derek was out of shape. We are still waiting for Derek to show up with full-blown legs and have humongous quads on the stage, just the way he shows up at the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, or the way he appears in some of his physique updates, because his legs always look so damn huge, especially during the off-season. And you can see that in the recent update too. So Derek won this past Arnold, Ohio very convincingly. He won the Pittsburgh Pro in what you can call was a controversial decision, but the history will remember him as the first ever Pittsburgh Pro champion. And there is one more to go, and that is the biggest of them all, the Olympia title. So does anyone realize that in case Derek is able to pull it off, he will be making more than $1 million in prize money in just 1 year? He knows he needs to be a lot better than his Arnold, Ohio version in order to make that happen, in order to regain his Olympia throne. Next up, we have an update from Blessing Avodibu. Anyone thinking that he stopped working with his coach Stefan after the Legion Sports? Well, this repost is gonna confirm things for all of you guys. They are still working together, but there is very little chance of Blessing stepping back on the stage anytime soon. Possibly, he isn't gonna do any show this year. So it turns out that the physique that they presented at the Legion Sports, they did not find a common ground because initially there was an obvious difference of opinion between both these guys after what happened at the Legion Sports, where Stefan was of the opinion that there was a big disparity between his upper and lower half, and that is something which isn't fixable in a matter of a few weeks, while Blessing, on the other hand, he had the opinion that it was merely a peaking issue. And the fact is, he just wasn't ready to step on the stage. He wasn't just holding a lot of water, but at the same time, he was holding some fat too in his physique when he competed at the Legion Sports. And none of us understood the logic behind Blessing shutting the season down completely instead of continuing to diet for another few weeks, get very ripped like he did back in 2022 and see where his legs are at. Well, he still doesn't have a show in sight, which means he's trying to go through a mini off-season to make some necessary improvements. And if you guys ask me, both these guys, Stefan and Blessing, they were right. He needs more time to put on more muscle in his legs, and that was a very bad peak. Now Blessing doesn't need muscle in the upper half. The man already risked blowing out his waistline, his obliques, by going up to 320 plus pounds. What he needs to do is to bring back that Indie Pro and the Neo Pro look that he had back in 2022. And if he can do that with some more volume on his legs, he's gonna be back on the Olympia stage. Next up, we have 1.5 weeks old physique update from Leho Pro. One of the craziest physiques in classic physique division. So hard to believe that a physique of this caliber hasn't been able to win his first pro show and qualify for the Olympia as of right now. But he is most probably gonna win his show very soon. The waist and those big sweeping quads, combined with some very wide clavicles, that is a perfect definition of an X-frame. And his back is also looking pretty damn impressive and very improved compared to last year. So I believe he did one show in the post-Olympia tour, where he did beat an Olympian genetic freak, Niall Darwin. Ramondino was the one who won that show, and Leho came in second. So you can definitely add him into the list of those guys with the smallest waistline in classic physique right now. So what he needs is more chest, and that will make him a very dangerous classic physique competitor. From an amateur to an IFBB pro, the changes in his physique, they are truly mind-blowing. Looking forward to him stepping on the stage and getting that Olympia qualification. He belongs on the biggest bodybuilding stage. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he started his pro career as a 212 guy, but the man perfectly fits the classic physique division. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.